Hello, everyone, and welcome to Convincing Idiots. This week, we discuss our idiot reviews, as well as some pop culture headlines, such as the Deshaun Watson and Ezra Miller situations, as well as streaming and where it is headed in the future. And also, for our main topic of discussion this evening, we will be talking about riches and what we viewed that as children and how we see it today through adult eyes. So, join us for another gripping episode of Convincing Idiots.
All right, test.
Call it again. Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today,
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got to hold poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean. The Xennial says at the bottom.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And I am proud to say that I'm a millennial.
Why are you
My
proud?
name is Nick. Well, because you are not proud to ever announce your title. So I am double proud for you and I to say that I'm a millennial. My name is Nick. And if this is your first time
I don't
joining
like labels.
us, this happens a lot. Dean interrupts in the beginning and all throughout, so that'll happen. But if this is your first time joining us, if it's not your first time, you already know this. If it's your first time, we
Don't worry, he'll
welcome
stop
you.
talking.
We warn you. We welcome you. We invite you to please go to all of our social media accounts, which can be found at our Linktree. So just Google Convincing Idiots, Linktree, Linkttree. There you're going to find links to our social media accounts, such as our Facebook, our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Our email address is on there, as well as all the platforms in which you can hear our lovely voices weekly. You can also find all that information on our website. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. The snort was very loud. Also, I did not give the rundown because of all the interruptions. We are a group of three friends that get together weekly to discuss different nerd and pop culture things. So if you've been here before, you already know that. If you've not been here before, as much as Dean does interrupt often, the hawkers aren't always as prevalent, but they are here today.
Hawkers?
So the hawkers. That was a hawker.
I haven't heard somebody use that term in years.
Well,
Aren't you
here we
supposed to
are.
be the young one?
In the year of our Lord, 2022, you have once again heard hawkers.
All right.
Use the Lord's name, you heathen.
So it has been, as I said, we do this every week. It's been a week since I have talked to you fine gentlemen. So, Dean, since you're so mucusy and revved up, I would like to hear what you've been up to in the last week.
Well, let's see. I went to a ballet.
Neat. You did that
Yeah.
already before. Is that becoming a thing for you, or?
Yeah, I've been to a few. My lovely and beautiful and sexy girlfriend Megan,
And I believe I can correct you, and she would agree. It's called ballot. That's how it's spelled. That's how it's
no.
spelled. So that must be how it's pronounced.
That's
It's
not.
It's a ballot.
The T, much like we wish you were, is silent.
Okay.
Nicely done. Thank you. Now she went to school for ballet. She taught dance for a bit, and She's, social. We enjoy going to the ballet, and this was at I think it was a Goodyear Heights Park. I don't know. Akron has a series of each weekend.
yeah.
They have different metro parks or different whatever parks in the Akron area and host this ballet performance. And this was like this whole national troupe came in and did a whole modern art dance situation, and it was very cool. I'm cultured. Unlike you two swines, I am a cultured.
I can tell because you said swines. I can definitely tell how cultured you are.
Sure.
Put an
I'm
S on the end of everything that doesn't deserve it, like swine and Ozark. Like, why?
Shut ups. Let's see. What else did I do? There's two things that I wanted to bring up, and I'll bring up in the reviews. But I did watch two things. One was a recommendation from you two that I did take, and I got that going. But yes, this week, teachers, kids started going to school.
Yeah.
I know, Nick, you'll probably mention that as well. But yeah, my son Carter going to the 5th grade. Doesn't seem real, but yeah, it's happening.
So has he made it further
going into the
school
2nd grade
than you did yet, or has he surpassed you at this point?
Well, he knows more than I do at this moment. Right. I know that.
Yes.
But I did some things that I'm not proud of to pass and graduate. Hand stuff and behind dumpsters and whatnot. But I did graduate. Some people graduate. Well, some people graduate with flying colors. Mine was more white. But yeah. What? Wait, what are you complaining for? Yeah, I think that's other than what I watched. That's about what's going on in my world. What about you, Brian?
Let's see. We shot last Thursday, then last Friday through Monday. Had a really nice getaway with my little family group. So my lovely girlfriend Allie, daughter Peyton, and her boyfriend Joey all went up to. That's right. Allie's daughter couldn't make it after all, which was okay. We missed her, but 4 of us had a great time. Went up by Geneva, Ohio. So we stayed in Conneaut, Ohio, which is a short drive from Geneva and Geneva on the lake, and all the wineries and different stuff to do over that way, and also Madison, Ohio, all through there. And then Ashtabula was just a short distance as well. So we went over by the historic Ashtabula Harbor, some nice shops and restaurants, and there was a nice brewery over there. Then we went around to Geneva and a few wineries up that way, checked out the strip up there, nice restaurants, a lot of fun. And Conneaut has a really nice beach park. I mean, when you're sitting there I don't know if you guys went last time. I haven't been to Lake Erie Beach and sat in a little while. And
I've never been up that way.
It's really nice. You kind of forget that you're sitting there on a lake. I mean, it's just a huge body of water, and it's not the ocean, but still, it was a very relaxing time, and just had a great time. Nice to get away and spend some time. And Peyton starts her senior year of college at Kent State University coming up here.
Wow,
that's insane.
I feel like she just graduated high school. Like that feels like that a couple years ago.
2019. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So she
was just recently a child coming in with like 4 missing teeth into work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, she'll be 22 in about a month and doing really well in college. And her advisor
she's definitely
contacted
smarter
her.
Than you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But her advisor contacted her, said she has enough credits with her school load this year that she could graduate next summer with her internship. So just very crazy to think that. So, but I'm proud of her. She's doing great. But like I said, great family time, a lot of fun. Highly recommended to get up that way. It's like an hour and a half from here. Go ahead.
The longest covered bridge. How long was that? I saw it on your Facebook page.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like 600 and some feet or something like that. It's the longest covered bridge. Yeah, it was. It was the longest one in the United States. I had no idea Ashtabula County has like 19 covered bridges in the area. So I think it's the highest concentrated amount of covered bridges in the states. So really, really cool. We went around and saw a few of them. Yeah, well, I definitely will go back. Like I said, it's an hour and a half away. It feels like you're farther away than from the Akron area than you really are, with the water and everything.
Right. But I mean, even though we still wish you were further away.
Of course. Right. But yeah, we should all do that sometime. Go up to a couple wineries, explore, and all that. They have nice trails up there, so definitely recommend.
Get drunk, naked, and fight a bear.
I was just thinking about wineries the other day. It's something about like when it starts to get cool, here in northeastern Ohio, especially in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's been like, 50s, 60s. It's been amazing. But like when you first feel that like autumn chill in the air, I don't know. It makes me think of wineries. Like I think all the times I've been to them, it's probably been that time of year. And I'm like, I haven't been to a winery in years. That would be fun.
There's a lot of nice ones even in this area, man. I mean, there's tons around this way. So yeah, definitely a lot worth checking out for sure. Yeah. So Nick, how are you? What's new with you?
I am well. Just Dean mentioned back to school. I had a long weekend. This weekend I took off work last Friday, and the family and I went to the Aurora Farms outlet malls. They have like Nike, Adidas, North Face, all those types of stores. Got the kids all set up with shoes and backpacks and clothes and all that good stuff. So that was a fun day with the family. Saturday we had Robin's work company, like their city outing, I guess it was at the lake in Norton or whatever. So there's the lake out there, and all kinds of jungle gyms and things like that for the kids to play on. Complimentary.
Did you play on them?
I did. Yes. Complimentary beer truck, which is always nice. They had Lager Lager on draft, which I always appreciate. Nice. Delicious food. They had catered lunch and dinner and all that stuff. So we spent pretty much the entire day out there. So it was a good time. And then back to school. The kids started today. We began soccer this week. We began school this week. So definitely, life is picking up once again, full force. Everything is very busy all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, Lane today was his first day also of 5th grade. And, because my boys go to different schools, he's, taking the bus home. They get dropped off by mom, but then they get, he'll take the bus home. So, which is the first time for him. So, he's all set up to get in the house, let himself in. He'll be here like a half hour before I get home from work. But, I told him, stress to him, it's very important. You text me. That's all I ask. Text me every day when you get in the door. The second you get in the door, I need you to text me just so I know. Just say I'm in, I'm home, whatever. I don't care. Just something so that I know you're there. Just give me peace of mind. At least in the beginning while we're, getting this down. So I'm at work today, and it's 3:30. Okay. I'm like, okay, anytime now. He should be texting. His bus supposed to drop him off around 3:30. Well, it's first day. Maybe give him a minute. So around 3:40, I text him, and I say, you home? And I get a response, 2 capital letters, N-O, both caps, no. It's like, oh, I said, are you on the bus? Again, N-O, all caps. I said, okay, let's play this game now. Where are you? Where are you? And he pins his location and sends it to me on his iPhone, which is at the school. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to play Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego with my son. I pick up the phone. I call him. I say, what's happening? What's going on? Why are you not on the bus? He goes, well, I'm still here at school. I said, oh yeah? I said, what happened? The bus is not there? He goes, no, they were there. He goes, Mom lied to me. I was like, oh yeah? What do you mean? And he goes, well, she told me my bus number was this one, when really it was supposed to be this one. So he missed his bus.
Oh boy.
And I informed him that his mother probably did not lie to him on purpose, but rather was either misinformed or misunderstood or whatever. So he was a little upset. He
probably shouldn't go at his mother with that kind of language. That's not going to end well for him.
Yes. So so anyway, he goes, and now he goes, I'm not going to get any me time when I get home. He was really looking forward to that half hour of the house to himself. So he was very upset. So starting tomorrow, he's looking forward to that. But yeah, so
We all look forward to me time.
missing the bus aside, everything went really well. I do also, and apparently he was not the only one who was either misinformed of the busing situation or got on the wrong bus. So in any event, I can assume that the manager of the bus routing system will probably wake up to a very strongly worded email in the morning from Mr. Lane and be very upset. But no, everything's in full swing and everything seems to be back to normal and way fucking busy all the time. So,
Actually,
yes.
That's funny because we are doing the same thing. Carter is taking the bus home. Key texting us as soon as he gets in.
Yeah.
That whole situation. Yeah, we're doing that experiment as well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
He made it home though. He did.
That's good.
Yeah.
Didn't miss the bus.
Lane was like, "Sir, I have a lot to say on my podcast about
Yes.
this flimsy operation that you're running around here." So
This
yes,
week's episode
I
of
have you
Lane's
know.
World will be titled "Kinks in the Barberton School District Busing System" and how we're going to iron those out.
First, get your goddamn bus numbers right. Okay. Yeah. I can't get my me time around here.
That's right.
You know?
When is the boy supposed to relax after a hard day of the 5th grade? That's what I would like to know. Where is the boy supposed to ease his mind after day 1 of grade 5? Where? How?
I mean, does he mean that, or I mean, I know they're only 10, but I mean, what age is that? Me time become me time.
Me time? I don't know that he's that. I don't know. I don't recall really. I don't think it was that young. I don't think so.
No, not 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Well, yeah, but you were jerking dudes off behind a dumpster at to pass the 3rd grade or something, like you said on the way in. So,
well, it's more 4th grade. I mean, come on, I'm not some deviant. Where do you think I learned it?
All right, that's a nice segue into idiot reviews.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
School's back.
Oh, do you mean you want to review me doing hand stuff? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just need you to verbally say it in order for this to happen.
Yeah. I felt your torque was off, but I appreciated that you have such soft baby hands, not those of a working man with calluses. So
There you go.
there's my official review.
Resounding thumbs down for me. 2 thumbs down. Yeah.
That's because you like the thumb up. You know what's in your butt.
Right, yeah. I think we got there. I think we got there. Thanks for
clarifying.
making sure to walk us to the door, though. We were going to get there. Thank you.
Well, I'm a gentleman.
So, Nick, have you seen anything interesting over the past week?
I have. I've seen a couple of old favorites. I've seen a couple of new things. Briefly here, well, we've probably all seen them, but I rewatched 90, whatever. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Watched it with boys. Thought it would be fun to watch that. And it was good. I think I watched it maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. And I was like, as a kid, the second one was always my favorite because, I don't know, I thought the monsters were cooler or whatever. But the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for what it was, I mean, for being aimed at children, was not a bad movie for its time and for, certainly the costumes that were worn and stuff like that.
Sure.
I can't say effects because it wasn't that exactly, but that was pretty enjoyable. The kids enjoyed it, and it was fun. So that was we watched that on, I think it was Saturday. I watched a lot of like comedy stuff or stuff.
Hope you picked something up.
Revolving around comedians this weekend. No. I watched and this is kind of comes off of some of your reviews in the past, Brian. I watched the Dave Chappelle. I watched in full the Dave Chappelle speech.
What's the name?
Yes, yeah, very good. Very. I just fucking love him. I just do.
Yeah.
He's just fucking perfect and awesome. It's so well done, and especially this one is not your typical Dave Chappelle stand-up. It's more of there's definitely his comedy in there, but it was more of really a heartfelt speech and kind of storytelling and stuff like that. So that was very good. I really enjoyed that. I watched that after I had attempted to watch the Bill Burr special, and after about 20 minutes, I was like, no. It was, I've seen Bill Burr stuff before. I like Bill Burr. This one just was not doing the trick for me. It wasn't cutting it. And then I watched last night the first half of, I think it's called Come Inside My Head, the Robin Williams documentary on HBO Max. I think it came out a couple years ago. But man, is that good.
That is so what I'm going to do to you.
Right. I knew. Actually, I looked up the title earlier today because I knew I was going to talk about it, and I was like, when I saw its title, I was like, oh, "Fuck, Dean!" Like, it's called "Come Inside My Head" or "Come Inside My Mind" or something like that. But yes, it was. It's very good. I'm going to finish watching it. I'm probably more than halfway through, but definitely just a good. Talks to a lot of famous people in it. Just kind of discussing his rise to fame and how he got into comedy and kind of the types of things he was doing at the time, and of course obviously his personal life, the way he grew up and as it evolved and all that stuff. So definitely just a really good documentary on a truly special talent. So that's probably it for my reviews. I think that's about covers it.
We're good.
What about you guys?
Well, I got two things. One, we finally finished Ozark.
The whole series? Okay.
I remember Brian, when you finished it, you told me that it was a satisfying ending. I'm not sure we watched the same ending. There was one character that something bad happened to, because I don't know. Could we give spoilers? Could we say, hey, does it matter? Everybody's seen it, right?
The finale's been out for quite a while now.
Okay,
so
then I will say spoiler alert: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why in the fuck do you have to kill Ruth? She was the best character on the show. It was pointless. And second,
that was unexpected.
It was dumb. Like she had finally gotten out of, she was making good and finally got out. And then the other thing, explain to me why they had to get in the van accident that they showed in the beginning of the season and then paid it off at the end. But they didn't really pay it off. They just got out and they didn't explain. Nothing came of it. There was no reason or point for them to get in that wreck. It meant nothing to the story.
I agree with that.
So, no, I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending. I love the series. Love the writing, love the characters. But, yeah, the ending wasn't my favorite.
I thought it was an interesting twist with the son, though, because the son clearly, it just shows the kids are now fully in that life.
Yep.
So it's kind of a sad ending, really.
Sure. Like they didn't really get out.
No, they did not.
They just had different management.
Yep.
And a little bit more security that nothing's going to happen to them.
Yep. And the one person, like you said, that was trying to turn their life around and get out of it got killed. So it's just really so it's really just something
bittersweet.
Decent happened to shitty people.
Right.
Basically. Yep. I guess that was the point.
Yeah, I guess.
Make you think and dwell on it and talk about it. So
was that the series finale? Is it over? Is that it's done?
Done.
Yeah, it's done.
Done.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I watched, out of your two's recommendation, The Old Man on FX.
Yeah.
That was cool. I enjoyed it. It was very different. Slow paced, but the characters were good. I mean, anything with John Lithgow in it, sign me up. And
the daughter was great too. I don't know. I can't remember her name, but the daughter.
She was maybe in what was the Ron Howard with Jason Bateman actually. the family, Will Arnett. The family was like millionaires or whatever, and then
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. Yeah, she was the daughter in
Okay.
Arrested Development.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it clearly shows that there's a season 2. If not, what a horseshit ending that is. Also, if you don't make another season. So, but I enjoyed it. You guys were both right. I took your recommendations. And you convinced me.
Well,
Very
hey,
good.
look at that.
Look at that.
Our work
Yep.
here is done.
I wish. So, yep, no, that's it.
Okay.
That's it for me. Brian?
I saw a couple of things I liked. I watched Day Shift, which is the new vampire hunter movie with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, and Dave Franco was actually quite good in this as well. So, the bottom line is Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, they work for this agency that hunts vampires, and the premise is if you take their fangs, it can't come back after that, and they trade the fangs in for cash. And Jamie Foxx is trying to get cash because his ex-wife is threatening to move away with their daughter. They're separated and stuff, so has that extra kind of little dynamic as well. But it was decent, but I tell you, the fight scenes were astounding. I mean,
Really?
It's worth
Snoop Dogg
watching. Fight? Yes, a little bit.
Okay,
a little bit. It's more Jamie Foxx, really. Sure. And a couple other mercenaries that he has with him. But there's some of the scenes where they fight the vampires, and the vampires do all these like the female vampires, like they'll twist and they're very acrobatic, and they have super strength and all that stuff. It's just very, very
That's
cool.
how I described Nick.
But I guess the director, I saw Jamie Foxx at a talk show the other day, and J.J. Perry is the director. So he's like he's been a stunt coordinator for some very big movies. So this is his first directorial debut, I'm trying to say. So, it's clearly you can see that's someone who knew what they were doing on the fight scene and the driving scenes too, the street driving scenes. And so like I said, that in itself is worth checking that out on.
I heard it's
Netflix.
the same guy who did the driving coordinating scenes on Driving Miss Daisy. Is that true?
I don't think so. I think he did Fast and Furious and stuff. So
okay.
It's a pretty big stuff. So,
all right.
Yeah,
Driving Miss Daisy was a pretty big movie.
It was. That's why I just assumed that something that big.
And just on a whim, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, did you see where Jamie Foxx the other day was at the at Dallas Cowboys training camp? He's there, a fan, like honorary, coach for the day or trainer, whatever he's doing. They made him like coach for the day or something like that.
Yeah, he's a huge fan.
It'll be better.
Yeah,
yeah, really. They need all the help they can get. And then I saw it come up in my Amazon, rental movie suggestions or whatever. So I rented last weekend. Just called X. So it is a very disturbing horror movie. So it's set in the 70s. So the premise is these young people are looking for a place to film a porno, and they rent out a farmhouse from the wrong people, basically. So a lot of stuff happens.
I had a nickel.
Yeah, so it's just one of those movies that kind of it is very well done horror movie. Definitely had a lot of scenes that were pretty disturbing. Like there's old people, when you have old people doing stuff too.
Old people are disturbing.
Yeah, it takes it to another level of creepiness and everything. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why I think they put explicit warnings on this podcast.
Right. No, but definitely not at all for kids in any way, shape, or form. But if you're looking for a dark, disturbing, even kind of horror / comedy a little bit, X is definitely. It was not. Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me is one of the best horror movies ever. It's not quite at that level, but it's got some creepiness in line with that type of a feel. Okay. Not super gory necessarily, but just uneasy and gritty and all that type of stuff. So definitely check out X if that's your thing. It was only like $3 to rent on Amazon.
Hmm.
And then
You
I
said
caught a
two people in there that caught my ear: porno and old people. So
That's right.
I will be there.
There you go. That's right. So if you
I
like
want to
this sort
see
of
your
thing,
search history.
you'll enjoy it if you like those things too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then I caught a documentary of the last 2 nights on Netflix, Trainwreck, which is the story of Woodstock
I keep hearing about
'99.
that. Yeah.
So
I want to watch that.
yeah, it's like 3 parts, like 45 to 50
Nick
minutes
wasn't even
each.
born yet.
Were you not born yet? You were born then.
99.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were born then.
Yes.
No, but it was just a very interesting story. Definitely puts you in the, had a lot of footage. I mean, tons of footage. But just, you could very well done. So it just, they interview people, the promoters today and other people that were actually there. Some of the kids that's, grown up that were there, and then they go back and show the old footage and everything. It was really crazy. I had no idea how bad of a thing it was back then. Go ahead.
What's that one on? What is that? What?
That is also Netflix. That's Netflix
Okay,
as well.
I watched something. I believe it was HBO Max did a documentary on Woodstock '99 as well. I watched that.
I think that's right. Yeah.
But that's like a movie. It's just one. It's like a couple hours or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, it's like three parts. Like I said, 45, 50 minutes each. So, yeah, definitely a good, easy watch. Check it out.
I was watching the preview because we were looking on Netflix for something to watch, and we came across that, and it dawned on me the majority of that, like, because they show the sea of white angry young men across across the crowd, and the only thing I can think of is like the majority of them were at the January 6th.
Could be some of them.
Yeah,
some of them for sure. Yeah, this thing had like 400,000 people, something like that, and they had it on an old military base. It was hot. It's on a tarmac, so it's super hot. There's, they have no
Didn't have
water.
proper amount of bathrooms and stuff for people either. It was just
and then their drinking water got contaminated, so it's just filth and garbage and stink, and it just sort of, and they were gouging the kids on prices. Limp Bizkit,
Kid Rock,
right? Kid Rock, exactly. They just kind of, push these kids over the edge, and they literally, practically burnt the place down at the end of it. So crazy. It's amazing there weren't anybody killed.
There were people died. I don't know if they weren't maybe necessarily killed. Well, I don't know. I mean, people died there though. There was a guy that people, were trampled to death and things like that. And
okay, well, that's not surprising with all that stuff. So anyway, check it out. So Trainwreck, X, and Day Shift. 3 recommendations for you.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that they had like the R&B base? Did they rent it out? Do you know? Did they say
they did? It was an abandoned base, and they worked with the mayor of this is up in somewhere in New York in this town. So they were trying to get some use out of it. They definitely destroyed parts of it. That's for sure.
Well, I hope they had insurance. But if they did have insurance, I hope they have Blake Insurance. Because Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, you tell them that the idiot sent you, and that Aaron was, that he was probably at that Woodstock '99. Actually, no, we were much young, but still, tell them that we sent you.
Aaron was already dreaming in '99 of being a world-class insurance agent. That's right.
True.
A rock star of insurance, if you will.
Yeah,
that's right. Oh,
absolutely. He made it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we were like 17, right? Something like that. 18.
You would have been old enough to go.
Yeah, that's true. But at 18, it's not really an easy trip to drive out to New York.
Yeah.
And tell your parents, I want to go see Limp Bizkit. Eat shit. Go sit down.
But Korn's going to be there too.
There's corn on your plate.
And Jewel. Yeah.
Hold on, Jewel was there?
Yeah. And Alanis
I love
Morissette.
Jewel. Jewel was
And,
my first concert.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those worst
Yeah.
first concerts, I'm
the
sure.
female, the one that I saw,
A lot of girls
her as
kissing
well,
each other.
she was certainly, berated while she was there, and things were
Sure.
thrown at her. And
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a lot of ugliness at that thing.
Yep.
Just like this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Let's burn this
All right.
motherfucker down.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna burn.
Anarchy.
We're gonna burn down this segment here, guys, and we're gonna take a break.
And then look at that.
There you go, and we'll come back with some
Soul
pop
patches.
culture headlines.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe some soul patches as well, perhaps.
Some bleach
Angry
tits. I
white
don't
men
know.
with soul patches.
That's right.
You just described me in high school.
Yeah.
In our main segment tonight, guys, we're going to talk about the perspectives of being rich. So when we were kids, what did it mean to you? What are some things that you thought people had, possessions or something that made that you felt they must have money? And has that perspective changed as we've grown up? What rich truly is?
Fur coats, backwards red hats, and nookie.
That's it.
Fred Durst was rich.
Rich and tail.
That's right. That's right. We'll be back after the break.
You're watching the most exciting game you will ever see on your TV set. Telstar by Coleco with 3 different games. Telstar Tennis with digital scoring, variable speeds. Telstar Hockey. Each player controls a goalie plus a forward on the other side. Oops, a goal. And Telstar Singles Handball, a game you play yourself. Telstar Handball, Tennis, Hockey. All 3 at an exciting low price. For great family fun, hitch your TV to a Telstar by Coleco.
And welcome back to Convincing Idiots. I'm wearing a Browns hat here this evening, gentlemen.
Wouldn't be too proud of that big guy.
Yeah, Dean's wearing a Browns tank top.
And actually,
Yeah,
that's what my hat is, too, is Browns.
Okay. So we are in the Northeast Ohio area. If you've listened to us a few times, you know that by now. We're in the Barberton area, which is about 40 minutes south of Cleveland, Ohio. So making some news today in pop culture / sports headlines here, guys. The Deshaun Watson suspension has finally come to a close. You know, he was, as we know in this area especially, he was cited for like 24 counts of sexual misconduct. He settled most of those lawsuits out of court confidentially. And the league gave him initially a 6-game suspension using a new ex-federal judge who's like a mediator, arbiter, and all this stuff. And the league appealed. They felt that the suspension was not severe enough, and they arrived at a settlement today with the players' union and this other guy that was appointed by the commissioner. So Deshaun Watson has a $5 million fine. He has to do something, some type of, I don't know, program or something like that. I don't know. And then he's out for 11 games. And his first game, week 12, will be, ironically, against his old team, the Houston Texans. So, yeah, so just a lot of craziness. You know, Dean, I know you've been a Browns fan for several years. So what is your take on all this, sir? Just interested to get your point of view.
Okay, so I know I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but I look at Deshaun Watson's situation for me as a Browns fan like I do when I listen to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I can separate the person from the art. You know, the artist from the art, however you want to put it. I don't need to, I'm not going to go hang out with the guy. We're not going to go bounce him from, massage parlor to massage parlor together. It's going to be, I watch him throw a ball and hopefully another guy with the same uniform fucking catches it. They get more points than the other guys in different uniforms. And I get to be a happy drunk guy on Sunday. Other than that, I don't give a shit. I mean, all of these guys, it's the same as a contract. It's just not the same. Let me rephrase that. Not the same, because there was people that got hurt, and there was people that this affected, and I'm sorry for that. But it's not affecting. This is not part of my football thing. Do I think he should? Well, hell, I don't even think he should have been picked up by the Browns. First of all, that's my first take on it. But since he is, and he is part of the team, as long as put somebody else in his uniform number, I don't give a shit. As long as they can throw the football and score more points than the other person throwing the football, that's all I care about. It does suck what he did, and he should be in jail. So I don't even think the fines or whatever. He should be in jail for what he did.
Yeah.
Again, it shouldn't affect my football player because he shouldn't be on the team. But again, there's a lot of football players, there's a lot of actors, there's a lot of musicians, there's a lot of people, famous people that do shitty things, but people still go, well, but have you heard the new album? It's not bad. It's not like you turn on the album and you just hear masturbating.
Yep. Like Kanye West. Excuse me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta.
What did Kanye do that was that bad?
Right.
Well, play this back when he kills the little guy for sleeping with his wife.
They broke up. He's safe now. It's fine.
So you don't think, Dean, that the Browns sold their soul to try to win a Super Bowl championship?
Of course they did. Of course. And they did. It's not even a soul. I don't care if this guy was a priest part-time. Nobody deserves what they gave up for this guy. Unless Tom Brady himself is walking into that locker room, nobody deserves what the Browns gave up.
Yeah.
So, to me, that is, again, separation of church and state. I'm not seeing the two things together. Nobody should have been given up what the Browns gave up. So that's where I see that.
There you go. Nick, what do you think?
I hope he gets injured very badly, immediately, actually, by his old team.
Dang.
That would be wonderful.
And you're only saying that because you feel slight karma will come after you if you say you want him to die, right?
Well, I don't know. I want him to be no, because I don't want him. I want him to suffer. But he made people suffer. I don't
Fair
want
enough.
him to die. I want him to see the one thing he has in this life taken from him, and that would be cool. So that would be cool.
There you go. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, but no, it's I don't know. It's I mean, I'm not a Browns fan. I find it a little. I don't know what the right word is. I find it not impressive. Maybe it is kind of impressive. The ways that they find to be bad is kind of crazy. Like the different inventive ways they find to fuck up in like every aspect of a like. I can't think of a professional sports franchise that has been consistently so like poor at everything. Like I just don't
Detroit
know how
Lions.
it happens.
Ooh,
Even
yeah.
the Lions, like I in my lifetime have seen the Lions be a good team. Like I remember Barry Sanders. Like they were. I've seen it happen. It was since I've been alive. It's wild to me. But you were saying though about like the fact that he's coming back against his old team, and we were talking a little bit off camera. I'm like, it's so like. So, like, the very first game of the season, I believe the Browns play the Panthers, which is where their old quarterback went to. So he is now going to start against his old team who cast him off for this predatory piece of shit who won't even get to play for them. So, like, they're also going to pay the quarterback for the other team in week 1 to try to beat them.
That's right.
So that's the thing. And then, like, so that's kind of ironic. And then when I hear, like, so the suspension was 6 games. And then they were pushing for maybe like a full season, but then they settled on 11, which just so happened to be the game on the schedule in which they play his old team. I'm like, that's a little too. I can't help but think that went into the decision a little bit of like creating that. Well, we can really drive viewership up if we bring him back in this game and like start him against his old team and how
like Monday Night Football.
I don't.
Do we know?
You know what? If it's not, it's
They
certainly
might
going
move
to.
it
It's
to
certainly
the-
going to change. Yeah,
Yep.
because they can do that. At least on
They
Sunday Night
can.
Football, they can do that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
I definitely. I mean, I'm a sort of a fringe Browns fan. I'd like to see Cleveland teams win, no matter who they are. The Guardians, the Cavs, the Browns. Would be nice to see them win something, but I don't know. I didn't agree with them bringing them in either, Dean. I think it's crazy, and they really. And then they start him on preseason. It's like, really, and it's like you're going to roll the guy out there, knowing he's going to be suspended at least. I mean, what was the point of that? I it's just nuts. Like, they're not reading the room too well as an organization, that's for sure. So, there's always going to be that thing, even if they win the Super Bowl, which is not likely this year, but let's say maybe a couple of years from now with him, they'll have the talent to compete. That's for sure, with everybody, as long as they can retain Nick Chubb and some other key members of the team and all that. But there's always going to be that smell to it, if you will, that they sold out. Not that other teams don't, but just with everything, the accusations and everything. It's always going to be that stigma. Yeah, you won the Super Bowl, and there'll be plenty of people. They're going to cancel any parades in Cleveland if they win the Super Bowl. That's for sure. But there's always going to be a lot of people that's just like, yeah, but at what cost to bring a championship? I don't know, man. So it's just kind of a crazy thing. So
Well,
go ahead.
If the Browns' history has taught us anything, Brian, he's not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
This is where quarterbacks going to die.
Right. Yeah.
Something's
It'll
going
be-
to happen, or he's going to shit the bed, or
Well-
he isn't the answer. This is going to be another
You got
chapter
2 years.
in the
If that,
blunder.
go.
Right.
He has the most talent. I mean, arguably, he has the most talent of any quarterback they put on the field since
Sure.
at least Bernie Kosar, right, in the 80s. And Bernie wasn't a fabulous talent, but he definitely had a, compared to all the other quarterbacks
He was
after
Bernie.
him, he had something. He had a lot of intangibles,
He had swagger and a great perm.
Exactly, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So we'll talk about it a little bit here and there. So, okay, another thing I caught here, guys. In July, for the first time, according to the Nielsen ratings, the leading streaming services drew more viewers than cable television for the first time. So, Nick had mentioned off camera, geez, it seems like it wouldn't be the first time, but apparently it
You
is.
wouldn't
So
think.
But basically, audiences we are streaming stuff more than watching live television. Now it's also July. There's not really a lot of sports going on. There's baseball and a few things. I mean, there's football's not happening yet. Basketball's not happening yet. Clearly, when football season rolls around, there's going to be plenty of people shifting over and watching a lot of live television and stuff like that. So there's definitely a factor there. But still, a lot of streaming services. There's a lot of, we talk about it even tonight. There's a lot of interesting content, original content on some of these streaming services. So, do you think that streaming services are going to continue to cut into live television viewing? Is it just here we are? I mean, there's so much content, so much variety, so much original content out there. Is this just going to be the way that it is, and are there going to be more people cutting the cable, if you will, and focusing on streaming? I think, Nick, you do this now, right?
Yeah, I haven't had live TV in years. I mean, it's been quite a few, probably 4 or 5. It's just kind of weird to me when I meet someone that actually does have cable, or when someone talks like that they have cable. It's weird to me because I'm so far removed from that it's kind of like, and I don't, anything that you wanted to watch live, like there's a way to do it. There's a way to stream it. Like you don't, I guess it's just, it was one of those things to when, like, once I switched over to it, it was hard to imagine what it was like before that I paid for like a cable service or whatever. I think people, and like I said, I was surprised that this is the first time, because I think, so many people stream, so much now that I think that your main crowd of people that still have cable services are probably because they've always had it, and that just like I can't tell you how many times I've talked to my mom or someone that you're a grandparent or something like that I'm like, that there's such a cheaper way. Like they'll bitch about the cable bill, and then I'm like, you don't have to have that. There's a guy at work that has it, and he was talking about his cable's almost $200, and it's just. And I'm like, that's like. Do you understand that even at the highest streaming live TV package, or one of the upper echelon ones, let's say YouTube TV, you can have for like, I don't know, $60, $65 a month, and you get all your local channels, and like I'm sure everything you watch is on there. And for the things that aren't, there's apps for that. And like I think it's just a thing of when people are it's so ingrained in some people for so long to have had, a cable provider and to consume content that way. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's just that it's familiar. But I think as, these generations of people, and now, you've got younger people now who've been streaming basically their whole lives, let's say high school kids or whatever, when they become adults, they're never going to get a cable package. That was like me when I got my first apartment and someone tried to bundle me a landline. I'm like, we have cell phone. There's no reason for me to ever have a landline. It's just one of those things that's just going to go away, I think, or I would expect at least, because like I said, even if it's not just on demand content or whatever, like you can stream live TV. Like there's multiple different services that offer that, so I would imagine it's probably going to continue to rise, at least the streaming, I should say.
Yeah, what do you think, Dean?
That's fun to hear Nick say that about his mother and grandparents stuff, because I still have cable.
I do too, and the reason I have it is because of because you put in your cable provider on a lot of apps where you can watch streaming by putting in your cable provider. You don't have to pay the extra fees and stuff.
A friend that has that, you use theirs.
Right.
Well, we're not thieves like you, Nicholas. We're law-abiding citizens. You and Deshaun Watson can do whatever you're going to do.
Oh, wow.
Brian and I, respect the law.
Yeah.
Respect, the rules that society has placed upon us. Okay?
Okay.
But it is funny. Look at the generation. I mean, that's what this show really is, right? The generations of the three of us. Nick is streaming everything. I have cable. Brian is still listening to the president on his radio.
It's a lot to say.
He does. Fireside chats and such.
That's right. And the Lone Ranger's on after that. It's pretty cool.
The shadow knows.
No, I tend to agree with Nick. It's probably going to continue to evolve, and you're going to see more and more. Like even this year, I mean, there's going to be a lot of football. Amazon Prime, Amazon Prime struck a deal with the NFL, so the Thursday night. Go ahead.
Does it Thursday night is on? One of them's on Twitter or something like that. You can watch the games live on Twitter.
I know Amazon Prime is taking at least some, if not all, the Thursday night games from Fox. I think it was something like that. So. They're going to have some. I can't remember who went over there, but a lot of these big name announcers are moving around. They're shifting around networks and different things. So, but yeah, you see, I guess it's going to be more commonplace, like you said. So, okay, all right. And guys, we talked about last week villains, and we got to mention the topic of the Flash kind of came up, and Ezra Miller. And all the stuff he's going through. So he's finally actually spoken out here finally, and he's basically publicly stated. I think it was Dean. You might have mentioned this. What are they going to do with this? They're going to have different. Is he going to come out and say something? And I don't remember. They're going to replace him as the Flash, or what's going on? What's the strategy they're going to use? Yeah. So, but he's come out and said that he's definitely. Seeking treatment for, quote, complex mental health issues. And it does say in the article here at the moment that Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav, So they still plan to release The Flash as scheduled. And I wonder, this is all, it feels like this is all part of their strategy to where they basically said, hey, listen, we understand you're going through some stuff. You need to get out in front of it.
Get your shit together.
Right. Just publicly say something about it. There's nothing wrong with it. People are very forgiving of this type of thing. Just get out there in front of it, say something, or you're at risk that we got to move on. We got to do something here different with this character or something like that. So,
you two both had that same conversation with me about this podcast.
That's right. That's right. Get out in front of it and publicly apologize. We've been saying this for, I think, a year now, Nick. Something like that.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened
2 months
yet.
after starting the podcast. I believe it was.
Yeah, something like
I think there was a certain phrase that was said that that caused the uproar.
Yeah. So do you think, Nick, that this salvages Ezra Miller as the Flash? What do you think?
I don't know. It kind of depends on where he can write his own ending to this. I would personally love to see him get his shit together and
he kidnapped somebody.
And do this. He kidnapped somebody?
Yes. Like he's being charged with kidnapping. There was like a daughter and mother that went missing that he had in his house or some weird shit like that. But he's done.
Let's see. A woman's 12-year-old child after a child faced substantial likelihood of immediate danger of harassment. Is it something else?
He's done some awful shit, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he might not have, wanted more in a rub and tug deal, but he's done some weird and awful shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I don't know that I heard the story of him losing it during somebody was singing karaoke and he hit somebody and took the microphone and you know what I mean. Like obviously these are not acceptable social practices, but like maybe I don't know all the different things he's got. Like I enjoy him as an actor in things that I've seen him in, and certainly liked his portrayal of the Flash. But I mean, yeah, if he's done some bad shit that's hurt people or whatever, like maybe that shit should be a zero tolerance thing. But I mean, if it's like I said, I was going off of the things that I had heard about it before. I'm like, I'd like to see him get his shit together and because I like the character he plays. But yeah, if it's, I guess it kind of depends on the real person, that whatever's going on here with the person inside. I mean, if it's one thing, if you're struggling with like mental illnesses and things like that, and you need to work on yourself, it's another thing if you're out there doing harm to other people.
Right.
I think they do this. I think they roll out the Flash. I think this is probably done in part because I heard he was literally in practically every scene of the Flash with the whole, because he plays multiple characters and different things, so it was impossible to replace him in the movie. So I tend to think he does this, they put the Flash out there, and I think you probably see
try to pull a Cleveland Browns and just be like, he did the thing, now he's fine.
Look at that, he's fine. Yay.
I think it'll sort of fade away, and they'll probably have an announcement to say he's going to continue to focus on his mental health or something like that. They're probably going to bring in somebody else.
Yeah, The Rock.
That'd be my guess.
The Rock is going to. Yeah, they're going to bring in The Rock, and he's going to play Superman, Batman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, which was a very surprise choice, but they're going to do it. He's going to play every DC. He does. Beautiful. But he's going to play every DC character.
Yeah,
all
The Rock
in one movie.
and John Cena. The Rock and John Cena. That'd be fine. Yep. Try it. You never know. And James Gunn's going to direct everything from now on.
Well, of course.
Every DC movie.
That should happen.
Yeah. Every Guardians of the Galaxy going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the one that he's doing first before I decide on him playing anybody else. We'll see.
The Black Adam?
Black Adam?
Yeah.
He does not look good.
No.
Okay. Well, that's the last thing, actually. So have you seen any recent trailers or previews of shows that you are excited for?
I want to see Amazon Prime, like a League of Their Own.
That's based on the movie?
Yeah, based on the movie from the 90s. Tom Hanks' character is being played by, what's his name?
Nick Offerman?
Nick Offerman, yeah. And the only other character I know is one of the girls from that Tim Allen show, Last Man Standing.
Okay.
She's going to be in it.
Okay.
It looks like she plays the character that cried when Jimmy Dolan said there's no crying in baseball. I believe that's the character she's playing, but again, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks good. I mean, again, Nick Offerman. I'll watch him read a phone book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, great actor. I love the movie. So if it's anywhere close to the movie, I think it's... Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Nick, have you seen anything interesting that you're looking forward to?
Trailers, nothing really comes to mind. I don't think I've seen any trailers recently that have struck my fancy.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet. She-Hulk started streaming on Disney Plus. I've not seen that yet. Have you guys seen She-Hulk yet?
Is it started?
Yeah, it dropped. The first episode dropped last night.
Oh no, I didn't even know it started.
Yeah.
I'll get, like I did with the Miss Marvel. I'll give it a shot, and I'll give it more than one episode because you guys talked me into continuing with the Miss Marvel, and you guys were right. I did enjoy it, not as much as Loki or WandaVision, but I enjoyed it. So She-Hulk, all the previews have not sold me, but neither did Miss Marvel. So I'll give it a few episodes and see what happens.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I'm excited to see the Abomination as well in this. So,
have you watched this podcast on YouTube?
That's right. It's an abomination. And 2 teaser trailers were dropped as well. And I go check these out too. So Wednesday on Netflix. So it's a Wednesday Addams series by Tim Burton.
And it drops Wednesday. It's coming out Wednesday.
No,
it comes out on Wednesday. What's the name of the show?
It's called Wednesday after Wednesday Addams. So basically, what they do is they take the character of Wednesday Addams as this creepy, young teen, but they put her out in the real world. So with amongst teens, and she doesn't fit in and stuff. It looks like, and then they wind up putting her in this private academy that she meets some.
You sure this isn't the story of Brian?
It might be. It's similar.
Right.
It's similar. But it looks very good. Catherine Zeta-Jones plays Morticia in this, and she definitely looks the part. And so, anyways, check out the teaser trailer for Wednesday. It looks pretty good. I was not really sure about that, but once I saw the trailer today, I'm like,
who plays Gomez?
Today's not Wednesday though.
I will tell you, who plays Gomez in 1 second here. He's a well-known.
What day are we supposed to watch it then?
Wednesday.
Right.
Second base.
That's what he said.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I know you know the actor.
So Nick, you haven't seen anything else. So you looking forward to any movies or television shows or time that you can touch your pecker? What do you look forward to in your life, Nick? Tell me.
What do I look forward to?
Just anything. Doesn't have to be pop culture. Fuck this show. Just tell me your inner secrets right now.
What things that I look forward to is when Brian goes, well, do you know we want to tell the people where they can find us? That's things I look forward to.
That means the show's ended. Okay.
All right, I have it here, guys. So it's Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams.
Okay.
Luis Guzman plays Gomez Addams.
I like that dude.
Yeah, he looks great. And Christina Ricci is in this, and she played, you might remember, Wednesday in the Addams Family movies when she was younger.
Who does she play in this?
I don't know. It doesn't say who she plays. I don't know if it's a cameo or something like that. So they work her in there. Maybe she plays. Yeah, maybe that's it.
That's Thursday.
Maybe she's the thing hand or something. I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't know.
If you had like your own personal thing hand, would you like do stuff with it?
As soon as you said, it's like it's this awful thing that I have this Dean sense now. When like someone says a trigger word like "come" or "hand" or something, I'm like, Dean's
like
gonna say something about hand.
It'd be too much like a pet.
Can't innocently say the word hand.
Yeah.
Nick, do you mind? Brian's trying to tell us that he's get a hand job by his pet.
No, I said it'd be too much like a pet. It'd be too weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dean goes, so you've never done stuff with your pet either?
See, now you're just projecting.
Weird.
Now you're just projecting. I wouldn't even think of that. Now you're getting into your own psyche there.
Gizmo, come here, boy.
Who wants some peanut butter?
That's right. Well, guys, so Thing was obviously a hand character, and he's going to make an appearance certainly in
in the Wednesday, series. And, who else, though, has a very steady hand of his own, guys, is our own Scott Oswald, a tattooist who's done some work on all of us here. Yeah,
That's right.
For Golden Heart Tattoos. So I want you to go check out Golden Heart Tattoos in the Norton area. Scott does great work. You can give them a call at 234-706-2982 or email at goldenhearttattoos.com. Also check them out on Facebook. Scott's appointment book fills up pretty quickly. He's definitely well known in the area. Does a lot of great, does portraits, all kinds of different things. He did my new double tattoo here, Twilight Zone themed devil's head. Again, done work on you guys. So go check out Scott Oswald at Golden Heart Tattoo, and we appreciate their sponsorship as well. So
his schedule fills up quicker than Nick's mouth.
There you go. That's right. That's pretty quick.
I have a shallow throat. That's why it fills up so fast.
Pretty quick. All right, so we're going to take a break here, guys, and then we're going to come back with our main segment this evening. What is being rich? What was it when you were a kid? What did it mean to be rich? And what does it mean now?
Be rich. Da, 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 da.
That's right. So we'll be right back for the break.
Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch. You're out, Rose.
The Atari video computer system is 20 cartridges with 1,300 game variations you play on your own TV set.
You can't keep me in here, Atari.
Don't tonight. Play it.
I said in 5. Boy, I said in 4. 4, let's go in 3. You're ready on 2 and.
And we are back here on Convincing Idiots. Now, you might look at us and think that surely these gentlemen are rich in many ways in life. I mean, they have their own podcast. They have a link tree. My goodness, they have their own domain on the World Wide Web.
Golden statues.
You are the golden statues of themselves. Right. Absolutely. Bobbleheads of the merchandise is aplenty. So certainly you must think to yourself, these gentlemen are rich, or at least you may think that if you are in fact a child. So today on this segment of Convincing Idiots, we're going to discuss wealth and riches and perhaps what things you thought when you were a younger lad or lass, what you thought you must be rich if you had some of these things or if you lived a certain way, and how do you look at that kind of stuff now? So this was a lovely little idea that was cracked by our own Xennial Dean. Dean, would you care to start us off? What are some things that you find to represent wealth or riches as a young Dean?
Well, Nicholas,
aside from with your little Kool-Aid mustaches, and you probably had a rat tail, and
I didn't have a rat tail. I did have the Kool-Aid mustache.
Mm-hmm.
I had it was the 80s. I had a big old bushy head of hair.
Yeah.
To me, when I was a kid, and even to now, like I have like a goal to get, there's an item that I get from when I was a kid. I look at it, that's where you made it. That's where you become, an adult. That's when you become a wealthy adult.
Eating dinner that's on something that's not a tray table.
No, I will never stop doing that. Fuck that. I just have a gold tray table. My friend, my item would be a grandfather clock.
Okay.
To me, that is what on the hour it would chime and they would sway back and forth and
Now, Dean, I don't know if you know this or not. We live in a place called Barberton, Ohio, one that is plentiful in antique stores and secondhand stores. I would imagine if that's all it took for you to feel wealthy, you could probably get yourself a grandfather clock for a reasonable value.
But I want the tall stand-up one. I don't want to mount on a shelf. It has to be the stand-up one.
No, yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
They're still not cheap.
Are they? I don't know.
No,
I've
they
never.
are. We went on vacation a couple weeks ago. We went into a store that had just grandfather clocks, and they ranged from the lowest, $3,000.
Yeah, but was that a clock store? Was that like a?
It was. Yep.
Okay, so but I'm saying
Grandfather
you
clock
could.
store.
I mean, I don't know. I could be sending you on a fruitless journey, but have you ever thought to like looking at like an antique store, just like a secondhand place to see like what I don't know what a used grandfather clock is. And the only reason I say that is because you don't see many people with grandfather clocks anymore.
Correct.
It's kind of a
Correct.
A lost desire for people, or it's of a certain time. So I wonder of how many people have either, gotten rid of them, or people maybe that, passed on that own grandfather clocks that, their family was just like, nobody wants this thing, and they put it in a store.
They buried them with
to just be. I wonder if that's something that's attainable. I would kind of think it might be relatively easy to find. I don't know.
Okay, well then I shall look.
I will be on the hunt as well for you. I'll be like, I got this fucking thing for $20. So you owe me $20, and here's your grandfather clock.
All right. If it was an action figure, you wouldn't see that money. Anyways, Brian, what about you? Was there something in your childhood that you saw that was the epitome of wealth? That was what made you, a wealthy adult.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few things we'll get around to, but one of the first thing I put down here was air conditioning. So if you as a kid, if you had air conditioning in your home, not just a window unit, but if you had like a central air, that was like, wow.
I still think that.
Yeah, you must have a lot of money to do that, because I never had as a kid.
No.
We had a couple window units and
a couple box
fans and stuff like that, and it was fine. I mean, you just didn't know what you didn't know until you until you went to a friend's house that had air. It's like, oh my god, this is like, holy shit!
You walk in, and as soon as you feel that air conditioning, you know you're gonna have to fucking take off your shoes.
Oh yeah. You get your dirty.
That's right.
Street urchin shoes off of my carpet. You probably have nice carpet.
Paw covers off.
Yeah, and that sort of goes with it. If you had like carpet, if you had like a new looking carpet, that was another thing while you're at it. You know what I'm saying?
Brian makes it sound like he had a dirt floor.
we had.
And the box fans would blow around the dust all crazy, and
I tell you, it was
like little Brian's beard.
Yeah, it was like straw. You know what I'm saying? No, but it was. I don't remember getting carpet until.
Where's little Brian? Over in the manger.
That's right. That's right. We had an area rug in one room. I think it was area rugs. That's what we had. We had the whatever tile floor or whatever, and we had area rugs, and that was what we had for years.
Can I pay for just a portion of carpet?
That's right.
I have this much. How many carpets can I get with this?
I would get like the carpet sample squares and like sleep on them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, this is
and
what the rich people do.
He only fell asleep because his belly was full of gruel.
That's right. That's right. No, but central air, slash new carpeting.
I don't mean to flaunt
two
my
for one there. Yeah,
crazy rich life in front of you, but no, we got central air. I think when I was like, I was maybe 10 or just under 10, but from that moment on, even like when renting an apartment
years ago.
in my adult life, I remember one time I went to go look at an apartment, really nice place, and
had to have air.
They were like, "There's a box." I was like, "Does it have central air?" And they were like, "Well, there's this box unit in the window here in the living room,
like,
and it's out." And the flow of the air, it really gets through. And the back area that there's not the air conditioning unit, it's all shade. It really doesn't get warm back there. I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. I have not lived without central air since I was like 9 or 10 years old. I will never do it again. It's just insane to me. No.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to get your pinky down when drinking, right? Like
it's muscle memory. It pops up there. You know, when you're taught good table manners, as a young gentleman, you shan't soon forget them. It just does it on its own.
Silver spoons come with table manners. That's what they say.
That's right.
So you had Central Air. So what is one thing that you thought you have money to?
My thing, and it's funny because it's still might crack the list, but not in the way that I used to think of it. For me, when I went to somebody's house and they had a pool.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, sure.
I was like, "Wow!" Like you have a pool, and it's not like an inflatable,
or
right?
Yeah.
So like above ground pool. Like I was just like, "Man."
Did any of you know a kid with an in-ground pool?
I don't.
Not
think
a kid with an in-ground pool. I had like family members that had an in-ground pool.
I had a relative lived out in South Carolina.
Yeah. I would say to this day that probably if I go to someone's house and they have an in-ground pool, I'm like, you're doing all right for yourself because that shit is not cheap.
Nope. Sure.
But now as an adult, you're like, oh, well, like you can have an above-ground pool, provided. Right. I mean, it doesn't. It is still a bit of an investment. And there's certain maintenance and things like that. But as a kid, anything that was not an inflatable pool, I was like, wow, like you have a pool. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like holy shit,
We are going to do a pool party next year, and I'm inviting you both, and this is real. We saw this online and people doing this. You bring your own kiddie pool, and you sit in the yard, and everybody gets drunk, sitting in their own kiddie pool, bullshit with each other.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
maybe do the projector screen, watch a movie.
Do Jaws.
That's what I was just going to say that and get all scared. Like maybe there's a giant great white shark in this tiny baby pool.
Yeah,
where I can clearly feel the bottom and all the edges.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. All right, so Dean, what's your next one?
All right, let me see here. I got a couple of them. One was, let me elaborate, but a fancy front door.
Yeah.
What is fancy?
Well, it varies. Some have like the knocker on it.
Opens and closes.
It's not a ragged blanket across a shack.
It's not stringed up beads going into the back of a Quonset hut.
Made a cardboard and he drew a doorknob on it. You keep reaching for it and they can't get it. No, but like you see, like a big, heavy, fancy. Some had the knocker on it. Some had like the frosted glass panes on it. But you knew a fancy door. Like our house was like a wooden one that banged. When you closed it, as the twisters coming down the alley.
That's the alarm. Tornado! Ding, ding, ding! Tornado!
That's right. I lived in Kansas, I guess. The 1920s. All right, Brian, what about you?
No, I agree with you. I got a new front door like within the last couple of years.
What's it look like? Is it fancy?
Is it fancy?
I did pay a little extra for the. You had to buy your own hardware for
doorknob.
Yes. No, but I paid a little extra for a fancy.
You can have this magic marker that you can just draw your own, but
and my daughter Peyton suggested paint it like a bright color. Don't just paint it. So I'm like, so I painted it yellow. So it's a nice new yellow door, and it definitely enhances the front of the house. That's for sure. It does create. I don't know, a little extra sense of pride to have a nice front door. So
did you not choose red because you thought you'd have the urge to paint it black?
No, I just like I like yellow. It's just calming, and I like the sun and all that stuff. So anyhow, all right. So I got another one for you. So if you had a refrigerator with like an ice maker and water in the door as a kid, it was like wow.
Absolutely.
That's still a goal of mine. I don't have one of those. I want that.
Nope.
I want that.
Yeah, that's fancy.
Yeah.
We had to use the plastic trays that you to twist sideways to get them out, and they'd crack down the center after a while.
Yep, that was another level.
Yep.
Another level.
One of mine, when I was growing up, I remember going to someone's house, and they had surround sound.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and I was like, fuck, man, this is like, because that is definitely a luxury expense. You don't need surround sound. You can simply turn the TV louder. But
correct.
To have surround sound and to pay the money for the experience of sound here. Sometimes I was just like, wow, like, you know, you've gone the extra extent to try to create the movie theater experience in your home.
Just sitting in that big comfy leather couch, little Nick nipple just vibrating because the sound's coming from the back and from the side, and it was an experience.
Remember the first time I watched Return of the Jedi and I heard them dang speeder bikes going on the left of me and the right of me and they was behind me and in front of me.
Pink. Mom, am I supposed to be milked after this because they're so pointy?
That's a good
Stop lactating on the leather couch. It's not even ours. No, but that actually, Return of the Jedi was the first movie I ever saw in surround sound at someone's house. So that was it was a cool experience.
It's a good one. Dean?
Okay, you know, like Nick, this isn't something, it wasn't like super expensive to do. But to me, it always looked, you know, adult-like. Maybe not as fancy or rich, but very adult-like. When you had the trash can hidden under in a cupboard in a cabinet, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you, where's the trash can? Oh, it's in that fucking closet over there. You know, like wow. Like why do you have a door in your trash can? You know, that to me that's what grandparents or older wealthier people had, was they had doors and hiding their trash can.
They don't have it out in public. That's crazy. Yeah,
right.
Yep. Show your garbage to people. When you think about it, it is kind of a weird thing to have a trash can out, because it's not like but to where you put your waste, that you would have it out on display rather than tucked away. It would make more sense to have it away somewhere. Sure. You know,
someday I will get to be that fancy.
That's a good one.
What are you going to live tucked away in a cupboard, or what? How's that going to work?
Oh, you mean garbage? I meant garbage, Nick. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, I said what I said, and I stand by what I said. So, moving on.
How about I had another one for me was if you had more than one bathroom in the house.
Yep, sure.
Not just
anybody can piss in the sink, but
right, just two full. If you had two full bathrooms, you know, that was like. Yeah, these people have, you know, this family has a little bit of money. That was, even a half bath for that matter was just like,
turds would fall off the side of the toilet. Half bath.
I still have not achieved that in my life either, to have more than one full bath. And not that I need it now, I guess, with just living here pretty much on my own, but it just it's something I've never had.
You can piss in the sink.
Sure.
You know, if you need to.
Yeah, no one even knows.
Like as boys, like somebody's using the restroom, like Carter would go out and piss on the tree in the backyard.
Sure.
You know, because
when the toilet is available, or
sometimes
I'm gonna go rock a pisser out on the tree right there. It's you know, it's a nice
very
day outside.
Freeing.
Mark your territory.
Saw a cat sniffing around earlier. I just wanted to know that I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Now he pisses on the cat. That's mine.
One of the things that I used to think, and I mean as a kid, but also really until pretty recently, I'd say up until about an hour ago, really, I used to think that people who went to the ballet were people that had money and were rich in high society. But I found out at the beginning of the show that is not the case. So
no, I mean, I'm not rich, but you know, I'm not. Yeah, well.
So can I give you my most white trash answer for what I thought was like? So you know, as a child, and obviously I'm the youngest, so as all of us were children, this was before the craze of like, you know, what a man cave would be, or a guy's area of the house to like have his things or decorate the way all the, you know, guys or whatever he wanted. I had been sometimes to people's houses or, you know, friends of my dad, or even like, but they had not just a man cave, but when a man cave featured like a bar sign, like a neon bar sign, sure. I used to think like they must know somebody, because like only businesses get those. You know what I mean? Like only like certain like restaurants or bars get those. You can't just buy them. I mean, now you know, I mean, of course, the internet, you can buy anything. But like, I used to think when I would go to, you know, one of my dad's friends' house, we'd go, or watch football or whatever, and like a couple of them would have like neon bar signs, and I'd be like, man, like that's fucking cool because like
Look at this guy.
they have a neon bush light sign. They must be rich. Yeah,
I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
my parents had friends that, and this guy had in his basement just a full blown, the whole down bar. He had a pinball machine. He had a jukebox. He had the full bar.
Was he single?
Lights. No, he was married.
Wow.
He had lights. He had a slot machine, working slot machine. He had an old cash register, authentic beer lights, Nick.
Wow.
And all the paraphernalia. And then in another room, then he had one of those bowling games. You had the disc when you slide it, and the pins would flip
when
up.
Flip up, yeah.
Yeah, he had one of those. Pool table, fireplace.
So this guy was rich.
So yeah, he clearly had some money. I just thought that was kids.
No, I mean
that was the coolest shit I ever saw. That was like,
yeah, I mean that's a lot of items for not to have at least some money.
Oh yeah, and he had a son, and then she had a so they kind of had a blended family and stuff. So my parents would be like, yeah, we're gonna go over and hang out at this couple's house, and I was always like, absolutely. Absolutely, going to hang with their hang out with the boys that were my age, and go down in that basement and hang out in that bar. That was just the greatest.
Kids
yeah, no, they were nice kids.
Oh, okay,
they were nice kids. So anyway, so yeah, but you're right. Just seeing that beer light initially, I was like, well, what is this? What's going on?
Yeah,
because at the bottom of the stairs. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my Labatt Blue light that I have over by me here that was given to us, given to my dad by a friend that he used to be on a bowling league with or whatever, and it eventually got passed down to me. So it's still it's I've had it like I had it in my room when I was a teenager, and then like it's traveled with me to every apartment and place I've ever lived and stuff. But yeah, it's
I have an old milk crate that does that.
There you go.
Bring it with you everywhere.
Do you have any more?
Part of my life, I do, and mine's going to be very very Barberton-esque.
Mm-hmm.
To me, as a kid, if you had money, you had something going on if you owned a starter jacket.
Yeah, sure.
Why is that Barberton?
To me, it seemed like a Barberton thing that maybe
I think for the time that was
all the youths.
That's that's
okay.
Really that was the the way. I don't know. I mean, it was a status symbol or the thing that was the hot thing that you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted a pair of certain shoes or whatever, or now if you want to wear a certain brand,
there's another thing
like the North Face, or if you want to wear or something's a status symbol, or just the fact if you absolutely have to have Apple AirPods instead of just ear, but something like that. I think the starter jackets were. You could have a coat. You could have something that was like a coat.
Did you
or
have
windbreaker? One? I did. I had a Cowboys starter jacket. Yep, the pullover.
Wow.
Yep.
Look at fancy pants, air conditioning, and a goddamn starter jacket.
I was an only child, so I was a little pampered. Yes, but yeah.
I didn't have my first pair of name brand shoes until high school, and I bought them myself with my first job.
Yeah. What were they? What kind of shoes did you get?
Actually, you would appreciate this. They were Nike hockey brand shoes. Like they kind of like they
Nike
were
hockey brand shoes.
Yeah, like it had hockey. It was Nike hockey, and the tops kind of had like a harder black shell on them.
Really?
I've never seen them since or anything like that. But it was a Nike hockey sneaker.
Are you sure you didn't just go to a Salvation Army that like you bought a pair of skates that didn't have the blades attached to them anymore? Nike hockey shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I've never heard of that before. That's pretty cool.
There's a good one. Clothes, basically. Yeah. Name brand clothes and sneakers.
Name brand clothes.
I agree with you. A whole other level for me was if you had a camper, and especially if you had a camper on a campsite. So if the parents they're renting out a campsite and they had the camper parked in the site with the whole community. Mm-hmm. We're going out to the campgrounds and all that. I had one of my buddies his parents did that for years. That was a whole other level.
Yeah.
We had a camper at one time. It was like a fixer-upper. It was one of like a project my dad would work on it and stuff. But yeah, and we went out. There was a local campground that we went out to.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did it like 2 years or something like that. Didn't stay too long, but no, it was fine. It was fun. But again, you go there and you see these people that like live that lifestyle. Like
Yes.
this was like a fixer-upper, and it made do, and it was fine for what it was. But like some of these people were like, not only did they have like these badass campers, but like they had like a life around it. Like they made a yard and like they were planted in that spot.
Built a deck. You said the yard, the landscaping.
Yep.
All that's. You're right. That's a whole other thing. To me, it seems like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
To go. You're basically maintaining 2 yards, if you will, with home and this thing. But I don't know. Okay.
It's the middle it's the middle grade version of my summer home or my weekend home.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, a second property or a second place to go that's yours. Yeah.
I'll winter down in Florida.
Well, it's getting a little. I mean, so just for sake of time here, guys. So obviously, as kids, it was stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had stuff, you had something in a home, you had clothes, you had, whatever.
A bicycle you didn't have to build yourself.
Sure.
What? I built my own bicycle.
You did?
Right.
I did.
Nice. Proud of you, champ. Good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
I've been waiting for 35 years for someone to say those words to me.
It was such a beautiful. I've been so proud.
Yep. Dad was like, just give me the cigar on the back of the hand again.
Yeah.
Yep. No, but he
put something into it. He put a stick into the spoke.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So has your perspective on wealth changed as you've grown up? Meaning, just what does it mean to be rich to you now as an adult? Is it stuff? Is it other things? What is it that you feel, at least? What makes one rich, I guess, maybe, is a good question as you've grown up a little bit. Nick,
I'd say
don't
it's
give me that
still
bullshit about family.
No, I wasn't going to. I'd say it's still stuff. It's just different stuff, more expensive stuff, but stuff that brings quality to your life. Stuff like things that you can get a lot of use out of, things that will help you and help your wallet in the long run. Stuff like electric bicycles, for example, something that might help you save on gas, something that is certainly an investment, but an investment in your emotional well-being. I would, if you were looking to be wealthy in today's day and age, I would give our friends at RPM Bike Shop a call. Okay.
Sure.
You could also get a hold of them by finding their Facebook page. All you have to do is search RPM Bike Shop, and there you're going to see their wonderful products, all of the different ways in which they can make you feel wealthy with one of their fantastic electric bikes today. You can also give them a call at 330-808-7792. They are located conveniently not too far from here in Carrollton, Ohio. You can also go to their website. That's rpmbikeshop.com. And just go check them out. Tell them that Convincing Idiots told you that if you buy one of their electric bikes, it will be a status symbol. It will make them feel wealthy, and they'll look incredible, and they'll feel great. So go see our friends at RPM Bike Shop today. Don't waste another moment being poor. Go get an RPM Bike Shop bike today.
All right.
I got just a couple more real quick. One, it's very small, but like, I don't know about you, Brian. I mean, I'm not even going to talk to Nick because I know he's, just loaded and rolling. He was like Scrooge McDuck, just jumping into shit. But, you're sitting there in class and like you have your number 2 pencil. You look over the rich kid and he has like the mechanical pencil. All right.
Oh, this is more stuff as a kid. Yeah.
With the different colored grips.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or the different inks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gel pens were a big deal for a minute there too. All the different colors. Yeah.
Or like you look at your dad and he's pulling a PBR out of a broken fridge, and other people have like fucking these fancy ass liquor cabinets and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's wealth. That's a sign of status, strong status.
Yeah, if I could get one of those today,
I
I'd feel wealthy.
You'd be wealthy, but
That's right.
not for a lot of money.
Well, you can appear more wealthy, but you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money on something like that, guys. So if you go check out our other sponsor, that's right. Check out our other sponsor, Bellmark, BELLEMARK, Bellmark Amazon store. You can get said floating liquor cabinet, which I have one in my home. Very reasonable, looks terrific, and it's a nice addition to the room. You're going to store a few bottles in there and glasses. You can flip down the shelf and actually make a drink right on the liquor cabinet. Save some space while you're at it. They also specialize in. That's right. They also specialize in floating nightstands and countertop compost boxes. Put your compost in 2 sizes, all delivered safely and efficiently and cheaply right through the Amazon delivery service. Go check them out. Bellmark Amazon store.
Remember, only poor people have legs on their nightstands.
That's right. That's right. Feel rich inexpensively. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else as a kid? Then do you have anything else as a kid you want to mention, Dean, before we get into some of the?
No, I named everything, but I do want to mention my list: grandfather clock, central air, swimming pool, fancy front door, starter jacket, trash can under the sink, mechanical pencils. I'm 41 years old now, and I don't own any of those fucking things.
Yeah, it is funny. So, I don't have a lot of stuff on my list either. I mean, I do have central air in here. I had an ice maker in the fridge.
That's only because you gotta keep that dog alive.
That's right. I didn't want to run the water line into the fridge across the room. Swing pool, no way. I also had, I didn't mention this, but a really nice driveway and garage. If you had a 2-car garage that was like pristine, right. People have that. You could eat off the floor in a garage. I don't have that. Never had it.
Nick, didn't you guys have one where the garage had like the elevator to pull your Bentley up to the top floor?
It's more of like, it was like a vending machine. You would select the car, the automobile that you would like to drive that day, and that one will be lowered down on the rack.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, like a vending machine sort.
Yes.
I had the separate family or game room. I kind of mentioned that already with my dad's friend. Like a finished basement campsite. I mentioned. And if you had a really nice computer at the time, that was a whole other status level as well. Don't have any of those really. None.
Nope.
Yep. So okay. Well, has your perspective changed?
At least we're rich in listeners and viewers. Never mind.
Sure. So, do you still think it's stuff? Really, is it stuff? Is it a combination of stuff and other things?
No, fuck other things. I want money.
There you go.
I would say, obviously all the, things that were, that make you feel good in life. And that as you get older, you gain perspective that like, it's not really, stuff can bring you happiness. I definitely have stuff that does bring me happiness. But it doesn't make me feel full in the way that relationships do, or my children and my wife and all that stuff. So it is definitely a different thing. You get older, you mature, and you kind of view things differently. But I wouldn't say that I guess it's the twist on it is having things can make you feel good, but also like I find that more things that I have that like I can either share with my kids, or that like everybody can enjoy, or things like that. It's kind of like you almost look for different things. I can't
share bourbon with my son. So,
well, for example, like, and I don't have a pool, but like I used to look at a pool because I was like, you must have money to have a pool because of the luxury of being able to go to your own pool. Now with a family, I would go, it would be nice to have a pool, to give my family a pool so that they, it's a thing that everyone can enjoy in that way. But honestly, I think the the key to any of that, I think we, as kids and as younger people, we look to having things or having wealth as a certain form of happiness because you won't worry anymore. You'll have all these things. You can afford anything you want. It'll be wonderful. But truly, the moral of the story here, I think, is if you can find your happiness in anything or whatever you have, that is really the wealth in it, is being able to be happy with what you have and be able to enjoy, who you have in your life and what you have in your life and stuff like that. So I guess it's kind of a different, it's not wealth in the way that we used to imagine it. I mean, certainly, everybody would like to make tons of money and, be able to, but definitely, I would rather spend money on, instead of having a mansion with a bunch of bells and whistles and things like that, I would like to have money to live in a small place. It's very nice, that has everything we need. And then maybe you spend your money, experiencing things, seeing parts of the world that doing things you want to do. That's kind of a different way that I think I look at things now.
I just want to follow up on Nick's comment there. A lot of things he said was right, but I mean, I simply just want to stop having to fight the raccoon in the backyard for the food.
But that's a relationship that you've built,
okay,
that you must put stock into. That the raccoon
but he keeps
coming
winning.
back.
I haven't eaten in days, Nick.
Well,
he's much faster.
He's trying to make you better. He's trying to teach you a lesson.
Oh.
He's trying to get you to work harder. And I mean, this is a learning moment. This is a valuable thing in your life that you can look at this as a form of wealth. This raccoon has chosen you.
Mm-hmm.
He has chosen you. He could have tried to make any dumb human better, but he's chosen this dumb human to try to make better. And this raccoon has chosen you. I think you are very wealthy to have this raccoon in your life.
So what you're saying is I have to eat the raccoon. Okay. All right. Brian, any closing thoughts on the subject?
Do you have a way that I can beat this raccoon? Your thoughts on the raccoon issue?
No, it's just, I mean, as a kid, I had it. I guess I just, you're a unconditional love with your family and friend. That's, to me, that's
lame.
No, it's just, I had that at home with my parents. I always appreciated that. I guess I didn't know how much I appreciated it till I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
And then when I had I'm sure you guys experienced the same thing. When I had my own daughter, I didn't really realize how much I could love another being on the earth more than my child. It really taught me.
I got a number of this hooker that you should call.
Yeah, maybe I need to. No, but it's just it changes your perspective on a lot of things. So just to be able to experience that type of love for another being in the world is priceless.
Yeah.
Right. So
my parents used to beat me with a belt, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I had my own son, they gave him that belt. Now Carter beats me with that belt.
Yeah.
I can't win to lose.
So this is another learning moment. You need to be grateful for the people in your life that are taking the time out of their days to show you attention and beat you with that belt. No, okay. I was going to say, Brian, to further what you were saying, I find now, as a parent, I'll randomly, sometimes I'll just, say something to my mom or dad and be like, hey, by the way, thanks for, I didn't really realize, how much you guys did for me until, I was a parent. And then I'm like, all the stuff that, all the things that you spend time on and doing and involved with and stuff like that, you're like, you take that shit for granted as a kid. You're like, my parents just do it. They do what parents do. And when you become a parent, you're like, hey, thanks for all that shit. That's, that's really cool. I never really, realized what that took for, you guys to do this or do that, or how much this cost, or these trips or things that we did, I'm like, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. It's definitely a very cool thing to see the other side of it, and kind of gives you a whole new appreciation for your parents and what they were able to give to you and do for you.
I went up on my mom and I said, thank you that one time that you're beating me with the belt and it slipped out of your hands and it fell to the ground and you didn't pick it up to continue. Thank you.
That was nice of her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I thanked Dean's mom earlier, Nick, for making a nice helping of ham gravy.
I thought you were going to say for beating you with a belt, but it was a very different way that she did it.
He paid very well.
Yeah. No, but there's a saying
while
too.
He's eating ham gravy with his fingers.
That's right. There's all lines of he who has friends is a rich man, just something along that line. So it's definitely something that I've learned to appreciate more as I've gotten older as well. So
that's why Brian makes me feel so rich.
There you go. So, yeah. Well, anyways, I appreciate you guys as well. I mean,
what have you spit in my mouth?
Yeah. See, that's it right there. See that?
That's love.
Yeah,
pure love, unadulterated love.
That's right. Yes. That's right. Anything else, guys, that you've appreciated? You think you think differently on wealth as you've gotten? We could probably talk about this for a lot longer, but go ahead.
No, I think it covers it for me. I was a poor kid. I'm a poor adult. People keep beating my things. Fuck it.
Yeah, on that note, patreon.com/convincing idiots.
Great plug.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, before Dean throws himself off the inner belt,
we'll go inside and dance.
Feel real sad for Dean. I feel real sad. I mean, I think about some of the shitty things he's done and in ways that he's not great, but I'm like, man, that's just it makes me feel a little better, but it just makes me feel real sad for Dean.
Yeah.
Son, good day, sir.
I present this to you. Is your day better? Is your life better since you've seen Brian Cock?
I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you where you can find us on social media.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say our fans they've grown to appreciate the outro of our podcast.
Absolutely,
Nick,
yes.
I think with you.
And
so, yes.
never more have they wanted one than at this moment today.
That's right.
And proven how hoity-toity and extremely wealthy you have always been, Nicholas. Maybe you should do it in such a manner.
Oh, and Baron Nicholas?
Baron Nicholas. Come on, Baron.
All right, I say. Here we go. So, if any of you heathens out there have access to the World Wide Web, which I can't possibly imagine that you do, but if you were to stumble upon one in your local library, you may go to convincingidiots.wordpress.com. Now, if you can't spell it, well, you're fucked. I'm not going to help you. I've done enough already. So, by gracing you with my presence, telling you where we can be found on the internet, I have done enough here. Also, I'll throw you a bone, okay? Take this one. Little bonus tip. Go to Convincing Idiots Linktree. Just Google, if you know what that is. Convincing Idiots Linktree. You might find it a little bit familiar with your idea of what a money tree might be like. Fools, they don't exist. You have to make your own wealth. They don't grow on trees. But if you were to find links on a tree, you could Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, Linkree, and you will find links to all of the social media accounts for only the finest content on the internet. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am a wealthy millennial, Nicholas. Damien Schaefer the Third. I'm not the third.
I'm just the poor kid, Dean.
Shush, heathen! Baron Brian, tell them your name and title. Don't let this one speak again.
Thank you. Yep. Gen X Brian Esquire.
Have we convinced you to tune back in? Donate more of your funds so we can purchase more lengthy and thick belts to beat on this poor piece of riffraff that the interwebs brought in.
Not again.
Kush! Hey there, if you like that video or If you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back here.